Good evening, everybody. Dear students and dear friends, dear colleagues, dear Sylvia. During these years, I had the privilege to work under the mentorship of Antonio Cassese and under his guidance. And I've learned many things, many important and fundamental things from him. I won't be the person I am today, at least not for the good things of my personality, for sure. I keep responsibility for the worst side of my personality. I won't be the person I am if I didn't meet Cassese as my mentor. There is, however, among the many lessons I've learned from him, that I would like to express with a poem he liked very much. It's a poem by Bertolt Brecht, The Carpet Weavers of Kujambulak. This is a poem which tells us of the inhabitants of Kujambulak, a village in southern Turkestan, who decide to organize a major event in praise of Lenin. Instead of erecting a bust of Comrade Lenin in their village, they decided to purchase paraffin and pour it over the swamp surrounding the area where they bury their camels in order to be rid of the mosquitoes that spread the terrible disease, malaria. Thus, they decide to fight the fever, but in Lenin's honor. On the celebration day, they take their dented pails filled with black paraffin and pour it over the swamp, and the mosquitoes die, and the disease is eradicated. Brecht thus says that by so doing, they benefit themselves in paying homage to Lenin and paid homage to him, in that they benefit themselves and had therefore understood him well. The folk, however, asked that a commemoration stone had to be erected reporting these events, containing the altered plan and the exchange, instead of Lenin's bust, the fever-eradicating petroleum barrel, and all this in honor of Lenin. And they did that too, and mounted the slab. And the slab has this text: "In this place there should have been a memorial to Lenin, but instead of the memorial, petroleum was brought and poured over the swamp. Thus, Kujan Bulak, in memory of Lenin, and his name smothered malaria." Taking our cue from this poem, we, a group of friends, pupils, and admirers of Antonio Cassese, we decided to pay tribute to him not by erecting a bust or a monument, but to trying to continue his legacy the best we can. And as a teacher, jurist, and statesman, Antonio Cassese believed passionately in the power of law as a force for good and change. He believed in using the law to achieve justice, peace, and humanity. Antonio Cassese strived to make learning egalitarian and accessible to all, and he sought to empower and liberate through his teaching and his books. Along his footsteps, we have therefore decided to launch today an initiative which we are delighted to announce today under the name Antonio Cassese Initiative for Peace, Justice and Humanity. And you see the website that we are happy to inaugurate today. As you will see, in this way, we wanted to give our contribution to continue Nino's legacy. In this way, we will try to give our contribution to smother malaria. The Antonio Cassese Initiative has therefore a website where all the information about the mandate and activities can be found. Also, you will find indication on how to support financially the Antonio Cassese Initiative to become a member and to try to help us to achieve the ambitious goal of the initiative. What we intend to do mainly is to promote global education, global learning and training through a variety of activities in developing countries and countries facing political transition. And we will try to do this with the help of the network of the friends and admirers of Antonio Cassese, who will give their contribution with a pro bono activity. For instance, we plan to organize training courses and workshops in countries such as the Republic Democratic of Congo and other countries where they really need to be trained to face the criminal trials on international trials. Now we'll try to... So we are going on the website, which is online as from today. So we managed to put this online. And as you see, we have all the activities which are mentioned here. you will find some information about the life and achievement of Antonio Cassese and the highlights here. And among the first activity that we would like to announce today, it is an activity that, as I said, it's a training course that we plan to organize next year in June, July 2013 in the Democratic Republic of Congo. And we want to like now to call Providence, Walapuku, please, Providence, you have the floor, just to say a few words about the importance of this workshop, which will be sponsored by the Antonio Cassese Initiative. You have the floor, Providence, come here.
Mesdames et messieurs, chères toutes, chers tous, merci beaucoup à la professeure Paola Gaeta de m'avoir accordé le privilège de pouvoir présenter le projet qui aura lieu en République démocratique du Congo sur la thématique qui est inscrite devant vous, notamment la complémentarité de la Cour pénale internationale par rapport aux juridictions de la République démocratique du Congo. Étant donné que mon temps est illimité, je vais m'appesantir justement à énoncer juste un point saillant par rapport à ce projet. Je suis un ancien de l'Académie et donc c'est à ce titre-là que j'ai proposé le projet à la professeure Paola Gaeta qui providentiellement a accepté de pouvoir l'accueillir. Et donc, en peu de mots, le workshop sur la complémentarité de la Cour pénale internationale par rapport à la République démocratique du Congo vise à renforcer les capacités nationales, notamment à inciter ces capacités effectivement nationales à enquêter et à poursuivre les crimes qui ont été commis en République démocratique du Congo lors des conflits récurrents et des violations qui ont eu lieu et qui continuent à prendre place jusque maintenant. Le lieu, il sera bien évidemment au Sud Kivu, à Bukavu principalement, et à cette occasion, 30 magistrats et avocats du Nord et du Sud Kivu seront donc formés et participeront à cette activité. Et donc, c'est en ces peu de mots-là que je peux résumer ce projet. Et donc, nous développerons ultérieurement tous les détails qui seront relatifs effectivement à ce projet. Je vous remercie.
Thank you very much. It is really the hope that it's a project that Nino would have liked. He had himself, with my colleague and friend Salvatore Zappala, organized a few years ago a similar project with the financial support of the European Union, which was called Ethics, which consisted in a series of workshops to train local judges, lawyers, and professionals with subject matters mainly concerning international criminal law. The Antonio Cassese Initiative, however, will also focus with other subjects matters dear to Nino, mainly human rights, development, and peace, because as a lawyer, of course, Nino is very well known for his contribution to international criminal law, international criminal justice, but it was one of the many areas of expertise that Nino possessed. Now, before giving the floor to my colleague and friend Andrew, who will chair the roundtable, I think it's time to say something about the new book that we are launching today. As Andrew said, the title of the book has been changed with Nino's agreement. It is now Realizing Utopia, the Future of International Law. And this is a book that I would say is simply incredible. In this book, Nino managed to take stock of the existing situation of international law, and also he has managed to propose realistic changes in order to improve the current situation. And therefore, he has invited some colleagues and friends, encouraging them to be imaginative thinkers, because he very much believed, since he was not a typical lawyer who just tried to tell what is the existing law in a positivistic attitude, he always has used his knowledge and his knowledge of law to promote change and to change the existing situation. In this book, as I said, with his colleagues, he has managed also through various chapters he has written himself, really to give his idea of what international law could become and should become for the next generation with a realistic attitude, but without never abandoning the utopian vision which have guided his entire life and professional life in particular. Now, I think that when he was always criticized because he was too utopian or too progressive or things like that, he used to answer with a story that is the story of a little bird that we have listened many times, but since there are some students here who have not listened to this story, we can hear from himself what he said. Now I take a few minutes to show you 3 minutes of a lecture he delivered here. Now he says that it's impossible to ouvrir le fichier. And now it's very interesting. After the whole afternoon, it doesn't work. It's fantastic. Thank you very much. He gave a lecture here in Geneva in 2008 to inaugurate the Academy lecture series. And it was the inaugural lecture. And the lecture was about the current challenges of to international humanitarian law. And he propounded some utopian ideas to improve the situation of the suffering of civilians in armed conflict. And at the end of his speech, now he concludes about those who have might raise some criticism about the utopian ideas he had. So let's listen to him.
Now, let me wrap up my talk by saying that, of course, I'm fully aware that some of you may think that my suggestions are written on the water. Which states, you may wonder, will dare to rethink international humanitarian law? Because we need to rethink international humanitarian law and do away with its most glaring failings. Why should irregular combatants give up their freedom to avoid compliance with humanitarian law and respect the main principles of this body of law? Who will have the force and the authority to urge the main international actors, the major powers, to pay more attention to civilians? The ICRC could, I think. I know that this task is extremely arduous. However, by looking at the present this is my looking at the present configuration of the world community, honestly, I strongly believe that international civil society, international civil society, more than sovereign states, should play an active role in promoting more humane international rules restraining blind violence. We are simply citizens, simple citizens, but we are all part of the international civil society. And I'm speaking here in the city of international humanitarian law and the city of its most authoritative guardian, the ICRC. Let us naively hope that something can be done. Let us hope that not immediately, but probably in a matter of years, probably in a matter of decades, things may change. Let us dream that sooner or later civilians will suffer less from the violence of fighting and be able to live a less oppressive life than the one to which they are now destined. But to those who think that this dreaming is out of place, I would like to tell a short story. A story that I used to recount to my friends. I see some friends here in the audience, at The Hague, when I was working for the International Criminal Tribunal for the former Yugoslavia. When we, in 94, 95, we were grappling with so many problems and, alas, with very little hope of succeeding. The story goes as this. In the Middle Ages, once a knight was riding back to his castle when he saw a little sparrow lying on his back in the middle of the road with his small legs up in the air. Reining in his mount, the knight looked down and asked, "What are you lying? Why are you lying upside down like that?" "I heard that heavens are going to fall today," replied the bird. The horseman laughed and asked, "And do you think that your spindly legs can hold up the heavens?" "Well," replied the sparrow, "one does what one can." So like the sparrow, let us do what we can. Thank you.